February. AC 130 descends over southern Mexico. This is not a commercial flight. This is not humanitarian aid. On board, 19 operators from the United States Navy SEALs, specifically SEAL Team 2. Destination, Campeche. Location, San Luis Carpizo Naval Base. Duration, 2 months. Officially, they're there to train. Unofficially, the debate is just beginning. The authorization was approved by the Mexican Senate. The invitation came from the government led by Claudia Sheinbaum. The stated objective is clear: strengthen capabilities against organized crime violence. But whenever foreign special forces set foot on sovereign soil, one word inevitably surfaces: sovereignty. San Luis Carpizo is not just any base. It sits in the south of Mexico, more exactly in Champton, where jungle closes in tight and humidity blankets everything. The Gulf of Mexico crashes against the coast with relentless force. Here, climate isn't a detail. It's another adversary. The heat drains you. The jungle limits visibility. The terrain forces adaptation. And that's exactly the kind of environment special operations forces use to test endurance, coordination, and operational discipline. This is not the first time U.S. military personnel have trained here. During the administrations of Felipe Calderon and later Enrique Peña Nieto, joint exercises took place in this same region: tactical exchanges, training, discrete cooperation. The difference today is context. What elite special operations training really means. Publicly and broadly speaking, elite special forces training is not just about strength. It rests on 5 core pillars. First, physical and mental endurance, operating under pressure with accumulated fatigue, making rapid decisions. Second, absolute teamwork. Synchronization is everything. Every movement depends on the other. Third, environmental adaptation. Jungle, sea, uneven terrain, extreme climate. Fourth, strategic planning. Simulations, scenario analysis, risk assessment. Fifth, interoperability. The ability of 2 forces from different nations to communicate and coordinate seamlessly. Officially, that's what this deployment to Campeche is about. Nothing more, nothing less. But in international politics, nothing is ever just what it seems. Some Mexican lawmakers question the move, not because of the training itself, but because of the precedent. Mexico has historically been cautious about foreign military presence. Every foreign uniform on national soil sends a message. And in geopolitics, messages matter. From Washington's perspective, this may be strategic cooperation. From Mexico's perspective, institutional strengthening. From organized crime's perspective, a warning. Because even if these 19 operators are not conducting direct operations, their presence alone signals something. Bilateral security coordination is active, and it could expand. The jungle of Campeche doesn't speak, but it watches. For weeks, training unfolds within the base perimeter. Controlled movement, strict protocols, no deployment beyond authorized limits. Everything within the bounds of approved legality. Yet public perception becomes its own battlefield. Is this simply technical training, or the beginning of a deeper phase of security integration? Historically, U.S. Mexico military cooperation has been intermittent, strategic but always sensitive. Today, amid internal violence and international pressure over drug trafficking, cooperation carries a different weight. It's no longer just academic exchange. It's preparation for real threats. The question is not whether training together is useful. The question is how far that cooperation will go. Will there be more visits? Expanded programs? A shift in Mexican operational doctrine under greater external influence? These are legitimate questions. Meanwhile, in San Luis Carpizo, the routine continues. Jungle, sea, discipline. The heat doesn't recognize flags. And in the middle of it all, one certainty remains. The decisions made today shape the security landscape of tomorrow. Because in geopolitics, the most consequential moves are not always the loudest. Sometimes they arrive quietly, on board a Hercules, and land in the jungle. History isn't written only in speeches. Sometimes it trains When people think of the United States Navy SEALs, they inevitably think of one of the most demanding military training programs in the world. And it begins in a very specific place. Coronado, along the Pacific coast, stands a training center where many of these operators are forged. Cold surf, freezing water, heavy sand, constant wind. The environment isn't incidental. It's part of the filter. Coronado's coastline forces candidates to master the maritime domain, endure extreme physical stress, and, above all, function as a team under pressure. Training in that coastal setting builds three key capabilities: maritime dominance, mental discipline under exhaustion, absolute coordination in small units. Nothing is left to chance. Every evolution measures endurance, decision-making, and mutual trust. Now imagine what that experience brings when shared with Mexican forces. Mexico has thousands of miles of coastline. Coastal, riverine, and humid environment operations are part of its strategic reality. Knowledge transfer in tactical navigation, sea-land coordination, and extreme climate adaptation can strengthen Mexico's Navy and its specialized units. This isn't about copying models. It's about exchanging experience, learning how other forces structure small, highly cohesive teams, how they train resilience, how they operate in complex coastal terrain. Coronado teaches one clear lesson: the terrain shapes the operator. And when that knowledge is applied in places like Mexico's coasts, where sea, jungle, and heat impose their own rules, the objective is straightforward: strengthen capability without losing national identity. Because in the world of special operations, beyond the uniform, what is truly exchanged is experience. On the shores of Campeche, where the sun hits like a drill instructor and the ocean smells like history, the SEALs don't just train, they learn that real respect isn't earned in combat. It's earned surviving the heat and 3 panuchos in a row.